The drum stopped in the middle of the night. Not slowly, not softly. It stopped like someone had died. That was how I knew our peace was ending. Before I continue, welcome to DotPrimeAI Stories. If you enjoy African history stories told from the inside, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story. Now let me tell you what really built our empire. I was not a king. I was not a warrior. I was a messenger. In our land, messengers mattered more than soldiers. Soldiers ended wars. Messengers stopped wars before they began. I carried words, not weapons, but words were heavier than iron. People today believe African empires grew only by fighting. That is not true. Yes, we had warriors. Yes, we knew how to fight. But fighting was our last choice. Talking came first. Our empire grew because we understood people, not just land. I was born to a blacksmith. My father shaped iron every day, but he taught me something stronger. He said steel breaks, but agreements last. When the king's men came looking for boys who could speak calmly and listen well, my father pushed me forward. That was the day my life changed. Our king was called Oberkelem. He had scars from old wars, but he hated war. He once said that every war meant he failed to talk first. He ruled with patience. He listened more than he spoke, and because of that, people trusted him. When nearby kingdoms grew strong, others sharpened spears. Our king sent palm wine. When rivals grew proud, we sent stories. When borders became tense, we sent marriage proposals. Some laughed at us. They called us weak. But our borders kept growing. My first journey took me north. The land was dry, the sun was cruel, and the people rode horses. They controlled salt, and salt meant life. Many empires tried to take that land by force. All failed. Our king chose trade instead. He sent me with gifts and careful words. I was 16 years old. My hands shook, but my voice stayed calm. I spoke of balance, not power. I spoke of benefit, not threat. We did not conquer the north. We traded with them. They needed gold. We needed salt. We made agreements that allowed free passage. Soon, our traders walked safely through lands where others were killed. That is how borders grow without blood. Then came the hardest mission of all, a royal marriage. The king's niece, Abeni, was chosen. She was young and brave. She cried only once. Then she wiped her face and said that if her marriage could protect many lives, she would accept it. That marriage joined to kingdoms. 3 wars ended before they began. Peace was not free. Every year we sent gifts. Not because we were afraid, but because balance must be fed. Cloth, beads, skilled workers. In return, trade flowed, markets grew, and children slept without fear. One day, a rival kingdom spread a lie. They said our king was planning war. Lies travel faster than truth. By the time I arrived to speak, spears were already raised. I stood alone, unarmed. I asked one question. I asked if war was coming. Why would a messenger walk into it alive? Silence followed. Truth saved my life that day. Our empire did not block trade. We controlled paths. Anyone who wanted to sell passed through us. We protected traders. We punished cheats. Breaking trade rules meant exile, and exile was worse than death. People respected us more than they feared us. Not every marriage worked. One alliance failed when a bride was insulted. Our king did not send soldiers. He closed roads. Trade stopped. Hunger followed. Within months, that kingdom begged for peace. No blood was spilled. Now I return to the night the drum stopped. A southern empire grew hungry. They trusted only iron. They killed a messenger. That broke every rule. The bell rang once, then silence. That silence meant diplomacy had died. That night, elders cried. Not from fear, but from shame. War meant words had failed. Still, the king stood firm. He said we tried peace first, and now we must protect what peace built. The war was short. Our warriors were ready. We defended, not destroyed. When it ended, we did not enslave the defeated. Their leaders kept titles. Their people kept land. That is why rebellion never came. After the war, we returned to the old ways. Trade reopened. Marriages resumed. Agreements were renewed. The empire grew stronger than before. We did not rule with fear. We ruled with understanding. People stayed loyal because life improved. That is real power. My final journey was slow. My hair was grey. My hands shook. But my message stayed the same. Peace feeds nations. Words shape empires. I tell this story because many believe Africa knew only war. That belief is false. We mastered diplomacy. We mastered alliances. We mastered peace. I was only a messenger. But messengers changed history. If this story meant something to you, please like the video, subscribe to DotPrimeAI Stories, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next forgotten truth. The drum stopped once. After that war, people thought our way would change. They believed once blood touched the ground, talking would end forever. They were wrong. Peace, once broken, must be rebuilt carefully. Like a cracked pot, rushed hands will shatter it again. Our king knew this. He sent messengers, not soldiers, into the lands we had fought. I was one of them. Some villages feared me. Some hid, some cursed my name. I did not argue. I listened. Listening is the first gift of peace. I sat with elders whose sons had died. I drank bitter water with mothers who no longer trusted words. I did not promise miracles. I promised time. Time heals more than force. Slowly, markets reopened. At first, only small traders came. Then bigger ones followed. When people see food move, fear moves away. That is how peace returned. The empire did not grow that year. It did not need to. Stability is growth that cannot be seen. Years passed. New kings rose. Old rivals faded. But our system remained. Alliances were renewed. Trade paths stayed open. Marriages tied bloodlines across lands. Some nights I would sit by the fire and think of all the wars that never happened. No songs are sung for wars avoided. No statues are built for peace maintained. But those silent victories fed generations. As I grew older, younger messengers followed me. I taught them what my father taught me. Speak slowly. Listen fully. Never threaten what you cannot afford to lose. I told them that power does not always wear armor. Sometimes it wears patience. One day, a young boy asked me why we did not conquer more land when we were strong. I told him land is easy to take but hard to hold. People must want you there. That is the difference between empire and occupation. When my legs could no longer travel, I stayed near the capital. I advised kings who never saw battle but ruled wisely because of old lessons. They knew war from stories, not scars, and that made them cautious. That was good. In my final years, I heard traders from far lands speak of our empire. They said we were fair. They said roads were safe. They said deals were honored. Those words mattered more than praise of strength. Now my voice is weak. My eyes do not see far. But memory remains strong. And memory must be passed on, or it dies. That is why I speak now. So when someone tells you African empires were built only by fire and force, remember this story. Remember the unseen work, the long talks, the careful marriages, the agreements spoken under trees. Remember the messengers. Empires that last are not built by how fast they fight, but by how well they listen. I carried words, and those words carried nations. If you want more African stories told from within, stories history forgot to explain, like this video, subscribe to DotPrimeAI Stories, and turn on the notification bell. The drums may stop, but the lessons must not.